So we're joined by Chris Fagan ahead of our round one clash at the Gabba. It's been over 4 months since the pre-season originally started, now only a few days to go. What's the vibe around the place? How are you feeling?
Oh, everybody's looking forward to the game. Feels like it's been a long time coming. We've had a lot of training to do, a lot of meetings, a lot of learning, a lot of welcoming in of new players, and not so much staff. We're pretty settled in that area, but a lot of new players. And I think since I've been at the club, I think there's only 19 players left from 2016, so that's 28 new players have been introduced over the course of the last couple of years. So yeah, busy pre-season, but now that the games are arriving, that's what we all do it for, so it's exciting that we're back at the Gabba on Saturday night.
Yeah, so we had a few mentors come to the club over the pre-season. There were the likes of Gerard Healy and David Boone. What kind of impact do you think they had on the players and coaches?
Yeah, I think Booney in particular had a huge impact on our playing group. He talked about his career and the struggle to begin with, and how he sort of cemented his spot in the Australian team, how they, when he first started, were a pretty average team and they became the best team, which is a little bit what we're trying to do. So in some ways our journey is the journey that he took in his career, so our players were able to listen to that, and our staff as well. Gerard Healy spent some really valuable time with our leadership group, and he's captain of an AFL club at one stage, so he was able to share his experiences there and also talk to the coaching group and gave us feedback on what he saw at training in terms of our drills and the attitude of the players and our organisation, etc. And we also had Phil Smythe here, was the captain of Australian basketball way back, played more games for Australia than anyone, also coached some premierships in the NBL, and he came along and spent a couple of days with our coaches and watched training and gave us some valuable feedback and spent some time working with our leaders as well. So it's great to have those people who have achieved at the highest level come to our club and share their experiences. You can't do enough of that sort of learning.
Yeah, so on that note of developing through others, you also spent some time in the UK in November visiting other sporting teams and their facilities. What was the big lesson, I guess, you took away from your time there?
Yeah, there's probably lots of little lessons more than big lessons. I suppose one of the big takeaways is that we do a lot of things right at our club, and Australian sports by and large is pretty cutting edge with the things that we do. But just little things in terms of practice. I went to the English Rugby Union training camp and went into some of their team meetings, and just the way they go about that, the way they research their opposition, the way they break down a training session was great. Brighton and Hove Albion, this EPL soccer team, amazing facility, and given that we're in the business of now building a new facility ourselves, it's good to see a state-of-the-art recently built facility that you could sort of get a few ideas from. So a range of things. I went to a Leaders in Performance conference, so the whole time you're listening you're just picking up new ideas. So it's probably no one big takeaway, it's just a whole lot of little things that help to freshen you up and make you think in a different way.
Yeah, that's great. So move forward a few months, we've had the 4 high-profile players join through the trade period. How do you think those 4 players have really gelled into the group?
Oh, they've gelled fantastically well. They're all good people, and they've worked hard themselves to become part of the group. And the other great part about it is our players have made them feel very welcome. So it's a double-edged sword, that one. But I've got no doubt that they've earned the respect of all of their teammates. They're having a positive influence. They bring other ideas from other clubs that you can tune into and think about. But the most important thing is they're all good men, and they've added to the character and the culture of our footy club.
Yeah. So aside from the culture that they've brought, do you mind running through a couple of their best attributes that they've brought to on-field performances? Yeah.
Well, Lachie Neale's just a fantastic contested ball player. He's very clean. He doesn't fumble. He makes good decisions with the ball. Just a real competitor and a smart footballer. Lincoln McCarthy from Geelong. Link spent 7 years at Geelong for 26 senior games, and the reason he spent that long there is because they really rated him as a player, and injury just got in his way, and so he just felt like he needed to change. So we're very fortunate that he's come to us. He's great mates with Lachie. They're schoolboy mates. So yeah, he's for his size, he's a great mark. Again, another really good contested ball player with a great sense of where the goals are. So we think he can help us in the forward line with scoring and pressure. Jared Lyons is a little bit like Lockie. You know, his numbers at contested ball and clearance are in the top 10 in the league. He's been in some good systems, particularly at Adelaide and more recently at Gold Coast. And he's an on-field coach in general. You can see him when he's out there pointing and directing and helping. So he brings a lot of experience. And Marcus Adams, who we haven't seen a lot of because he's had a bit of trouble with his knee, when he overcomes that, we'll discover what a great defender he is. Got great leg speed, can play on talls and smalls, really good intercept marker, and has the capacity to go forward and play as well. So exciting recruits to our club.
Yeah, great. So there's a few really exciting fixtures for us this year, one of them being the Collingwood game on the Easter Thursday. For you personally, what is the game you're most looking forward to?
The game I'm most looking forward to is the one this week. I look forward to every game that we play, so the one I'm most looking forward to is this week against West Coast. Last year's premiers, a fantastic test for us. And I'm looking forward most of all to hopefully all our fans getting here, filling up the Gabba. I don't know whether they realise it, but when the Gabba gets noisy, our players get a huge lift. And we noticed the crowd started to come back a little bit towards the end of last year, and you know, we're hopeful they're going to come back again, that we can grow it so that we can make this ground here a real fortress for us. And part of making that fortress, we understand we play a big part of that. We've got to perform, but the other part of that is our fans turning up and shouting out as loud as they can and driving the boys home. So we look forward to that.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chris. We appreciate your time. We look forward to it too. Bring on round one.
No problems. Thank you.